Hey there, drawing fans, and today on Doodle to Done, we're going to be drawing the emotion of anger or being angry. We've all been angry at times. It's a very raw emotion that affects every single one of us, and probably one of the uglier emotions. I would say the ugliest, in my opinion, is jealousy. But today, to draw anger, really got to focus on the expression. So, of course, starting with some simple doodles and just coming up with the raw emotion of anger and how that looks on paper. So, on Doodle to Done, the focus is always on the doodle because the doodle is basically the soul of the character, and everything starts with a doodle. Right? Everything. Now, the funny thing is, let's get the elephant out of the room. As I started drawing this character, they started looking an awful lot like the Pixar movie Inside Out, the anger version of that character. And that was not on purpose, but I was thinking of monsters. I was thinking of really mostly the expression. It was just the expression. And what do you know? I guess there might have been some influence from that movie, but it sure does look like that character. And maybe I was just tapped into something as to what anger looks like. Maybe anger is a blocky sort of simple emotion. It's definitely not a very complex emotion. It's one that just boils in us and it just pours out, and kind of like a square. A square is simple and blocky and easy to read. When somebody's angry, you know exactly. There's no doubt. It's hard to hide anger. So I think that is maybe why I made these very blocky looking characters. I don't know. What do you think? Do you think it was because I was influenced by the movie, or is that just how anger appears? And if you were to draw anger, what would it look like? What kind of shape would it take? Maybe it'd be way different than what mine is. And hey, I'd love to see what your version of anger would be. So if you do come up with it and you want to share it with me, you can always share it on my Instagram page. Just tag me, Steve Harpster, or use the hashtag Steve Harpster if you want to share your vision of what anger looks like. And it could just be the doodle form. You don't even need to do the the done or the finished version. So I'm about finished with my doodles here, and on Doodle to Done, like I said, we focus mostly on the doodles. So while some of these I like better than others, it'll be interesting what they look like once I take them into Procreate and finish them up. And I'm going to do that right now. So here it is. I just have my art or the photo of my sketchbook right there in Procreate. Now, if you are interested in learning how I illustrate in Procreate, I have a tutorial site, a subscription art site. That's what I'm trying to say. A subscription art site called HARPTOONIACS, and you can check out my lessons there. But here we're just going to kind of go through it real quick, and I'm just going to talk about a little bit about my thought process. Okay, so one thing you might be noticing in Procreate is I have this little canvas opened up, this little window right here. And the reason I have that window open is that is a reference window. And what it allows me to do is you'll notice that every time I'm adding to my character or drawing, I can see it in that smaller window. Now, why would I need that? Because what it allows me to do is, as I am inking and drawing, especially if I'm up close, which I don't get that close in this drawing, I pretty much stay zoomed out most of the time, but I can see what it's looking like in that smaller window. And if my drawing looks good in the smaller window, then it's going to look good in the big window. Okay, so let's take a look at the before and after. Here is the doodle, and there is the rougher doodle. I added a hand and played with those eyes a bit more and made it a little more interesting. And the teeth, a lot more in the teeth, but you can see the overall essence of the character is still the same as the doodle. Let's go on to number 2. Made a lot of changes to this one. Obviously here the hands are completely changed to a different position. The mouth and the eyes are pretty much the same. The overall essence of the character is pretty much the same, and I like this little I'd say the one thing I like here is I added this like fang here in the teeth. So, you know, kind of making like crazier teeth. Really adds to it. Plus these, the little veins in the eyes, if you can see those. I think that really adds to this character. So there's number 2. Here's number 3, and I promised I wouldn't say which one I like the best, but I can say which one I like the least, and it would be this one. So, still the same essence of the character. I changed the eyes a lot, and I do like how these teeth, I like this one sort of tooth right there. I think that's pretty interesting. I would say one of the things I had a problem with is I tried to add the extra, another hand over here, but because of the way this mouth is, I really couldn't add another hand the way I wanted to. And so this one didn't work out so good. I did make the eyes nice and red. I thought that was kind of a neat effect. But other than that, probably my least favorite. I do like the color scheme, though. I like that orange, you know, kind of like the boiling line as the character gets madder and madder. Okay, time for the last doodle. Okay, this one, I love the smoke coming out of the ears. Very old school cartoony kind of look. The mouth, it's kind of a fun mouth. I took the teeth from from the 3rd one. Those are kind of number 3's teeth there. I like the hand position. And but this one looks the most like anger from Inside Out, I think. I think this one almost is a ripoff of that character. Not meaning to do it, but it just sort of happened that way. And there we go. So I hope you enjoyed watching these. Well, that's it for this episode of Doodle to Done. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, consider subscribing to this channel. And if you'd like to find out more about my Procreate lessons and how I work in Procreate and transform these doodles into, you know, fun final versions of art, you can check out my subscription art site or art lessons, and that's HARPTOONIACS.com. And you can try it a week for free. So anyways, I had a blast drawing, creating, and imagining, and I will see you in the next video real soon.